In this episode, you're going to learn so much. We're going to learn about organic social media, paid campaigns, email. I'm talking to Julia Block-Pearson with Stratos Marketing, where they are helping their clients create organic content, coupling that with paid ads that help them generate leads. So get ready to get your notebook, your pen. You're going to want to write a lot of this down. She's got some really great tips and practical advice for every business out there so that you guys can be growing your social media. All right, enjoy. Hi, I'm excited to be talking to Julia Block-Pearson. I'm really excited, actually, Julia. You and I have gotten a partner now. I really have seen what your team can do on social media. You guys really are the go-to team, and you're experts, and your content is amazing. I love it. I love your content too. So for my audience, maybe just tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Reb. My name is Julia Block-Pearson. I am the CEO of Stratos Creative Marketing. We are primarily a social media agency working with organic posts and ads to really create good social results, including bringing new leads into a pipeline.
That's great. And everybody wants to talk about leads. Always. Are there clients that you specialize in or industry that you specialize in?
You know, I wish I could say yes, but I have a personality flaw, and that is that I get bored really easily. So for a really long time, we have not niched into an industry. We've more niched into a service offering. And so one of our main ones is this combination of ads, social media, and email to just kind of bring the leads in and then nurture them until they're ready to buy. And so we have all that to say no to the industry question, but we work with a lot of people who that sort of model works for them. So service-based businesses, courses, things like that.
Yeah. So maybe talk a little bit about that, because that's something as a marketer myself, clients tend to not understand. They think, I can just post on social and people should follow me and they should engage with me. Or why can't I get leads through my social? Maybe talk a little bit about how do you explain to small business owners what they should be doing and why that combination of ads and organic and email really does drive leads.
Yeah. So first of all, it's not like we're set up for success. We're out here on the social media sphere, the world, in the metasphere, and we are not actually set up for success, or our content is, because Facebook, Meta, Instagram, LinkedIn, there's this thing called the algorithm that controls what our people see and when they see it. And so already we have that going against us, and more you have to pay to play, which is unfortunate for small business owners, people who are just starting out. And so I get it. It's really hard, really frustrating, but that's why we use a combination of organic and ads. Most of my clients are only spending actually $5 a day on ad spend, but they are getting in the door with these new people and these new audiences. So what we do is we actually create organic content. I recommend minimum just create 2 posts a week that show people that you understand their problem and that you're the expert solution. So really very minimal, but then that way, if people do see your ad, they suddenly realize, and they go to your channel, they get to learn more about you, and then they don't feel like you're a scam. But really what's finding the new people are those ads. We've actually started doing primarily these lead generating ads, which ask people for an email. So we're actually immediately taking them out of social media into your email inbox. So then we're kind of playing double. We're getting double benefit from it. We're growing the email list, but then we're also getting these new people. And so that's kind of why we've started doing both, because my people who were just doing ads and never doing organic, a lot of the people thought that they were a scam, like their audience. But if they were just doing organic, they weren't actually getting the results that like pushed their business forward.
Right.
It was really more just like a proof of life, which still has its place, but they could maximize it by doing them together.
Right. Oh, okay. So small business owners out there, listen to what Julia just said. It really goes hand in hand. And I love that because you could do pay, which I feel like is a simple, or it's not simple, but I feel like in the mind, oh, I'll just pay and I can get leads or get content out there. But it really has to be a combo because you're right. There are a lot of scams out there, especially with all the cyber stuff going on. They want to know that you're real, and how you're real is by making real content and posting that on our channel. Makes total sense.
Totally. And then like the organic feed, like the organic feed also helps people get to know you as a person better, creates that confidence, like especially depending on the price point of your service. People might need to hang out and get to know you a little bit longer than something like an immediate buy. So that's where I think it still has its time and place, but I've seen the best results when my people can use it together. And guys, like even if it's only $5 a day, that will get you something. It doesn't have to be this extraordinary ad budget.
Yeah. And that's great because I think a lot of times I get that question, well, how much do I need to spend? You know, what does that look like? So would you say $5 a day is a minimum to be spending?
Totally. It also depends. I say that with like a caveat, like it depends what your objectives are. It depends what kind of campaigns you're running. But for these lead generating specific ads, that's where we actually start them out, is at $5 a day. Within 2 to 3 days, we start learning how much a lead costs you per email. And so then what you can essentially do is reverse engineer it. So for example, we had somebody who's launching an app. It's a financial app. We figured out, hey, he could get a new email in his target audience for like $1.50 an email. So he said, okay, well, I want 1,000 people to launch this app to. So we could reverse engineer and figure out how much ad spend he needed to put up. We could even reverse engineer like how much was his ad spend budget. So how many months did we need? So I really think that the way a lot of experts talk about ads makes it really feel unattainable for those of us who have extremely small businesses. But you can actually, once you figure out those metrics, you can reverse engineer it to get the results you want at the pace that you want.
Oh, wow, that's really good to know because I do feel like, and I'm not as familiar with social media advertising. You know, I did Google ads way back in the day, and that just for a small business, it's unattainable to do Google ads. You know,
Totally.
yeah. So that's good. That's good. What would you say? So I've bought in. I'm going to do at least $5 a day. I'm committing to doing a couple of posts a week. You know, organic, educating my audience. Now, why do I add an email, or how does email add to what I'm doing?
Yeah. So basically when I talk about like lead generation in general, we have like these 3 stages. We have the attracting, we have the nurturing, and we have the selling. And so social media, organic, and ads work in this attracting bucket. Your organic can work in your nurturing. And you can post something like a sale with your ads or your organic, but remember, like, because the algorithm is not necessarily in our favor all the time, only a certain percentage of our people will see it. But while we cannot control which emails people open, we can control that we get into 100% of our subscribers' email inboxes. And so suddenly you can hit bucket number 2, which is nurture, and bucket number 3, which is selling, by sending out emails. So basically, if you just rely on ads and organic social media alone, you're really only hitting that attracting bucket and maybe the nurturing bucket and maybe a tiny little bit of selling. But when you add email in, it kind of balances those buckets out so that people can flow in from being like a new lead to like a confident, like confident raving fan of your product after they've purchased something.
Ah, got it. Yeah, that really makes sense. It really does. And you know, I think a lot of times as a small business owner, you kind of put these into different buckets. Like social has nothing to do with my email, and my paid ads have nothing to do with social. But I think that's a good tie. It makes a lot of sense. Why you're getting good results for your clients.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I'm going to pull in what you do, Reb, and making videos. Like, I feel like that is also something that, like, people might think like, oh, like videos are only commercials or videos are only like nurturing. Like, people put video sometimes in a bucket, but then what you can do is if you get video ads perform better, organic social with video perform better. But then imagine if you had like this amazing video that shows up in somebody's email inbox. It's this like private connection space where you can really get to know them. And so I think just as like all of these can be categorized where they don't necessarily work together, when you do work them together and then you add things like video, it just all like complements each other so much more rather than using each strategy in isolation.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. I think, and that's important. You're right. The content and the type of content, obviously we love video at REBL. And that just makes sense. And it really is bottom line marketing best practices, right? You can't just hit your audience with one tool or one strategy. You've got to have multiple tools and be testing, right? Pushing those levers and figuring out what works and what doesn't. And I really appreciate that you guys can look at the analytics on the paid side and then adjust and really figure out for the client what they should be spending, who they should be targeting, and how to do that. So it makes sense, and I love it. So what, as we're kind of coming towards the end of our interview, what's one thing that you would say small businesses, entrepreneurs, marketing professionals on the social media front should they be looking at or doing?
So most ad specialists will tell you to never boost a post. And I am going to tell you the same thing, except with like a little asterisk. Of what you should try instead. So one thing that you can do today is to go through your social media posts that you've already done and find one that you really love, or one that like did really well. Maybe you have one that did better than the rest. Even if you're like, Julia, this only has 3 likes, but all my other ones have 1 like, that still counts. But find something and go into your ad center. You don't have to go into like the full-fledged ads manager and boost that post, but make sure you change the audience to your audience at large. Otherwise it will opt in and just boost it to like the people who already follow you. Remember, we want to find new people. So really you could do this and just decide, okay, I want to do $5 for 5 days and get this out to more people. And so that can start give you some material that you can start realizing, okay, these are my stats. Like this is how much a new lead costs me, or things like that. It's a great way to start playing with ad spend. Don't go in there and like blow $100. That is not what I'm saying. But like just use a tiny little budget and see how much more reach your posts. We also do this a lot if we have to like test content. If we're like, hey, would this title work better for this lead generator or this title? Sometimes we'll go and put $5 out behind them so we can decide, okay, which one got more views, which one got more likes. And so that's something that you could easily do today to start testing out your content or getting a few more eyes on it.
Got it. Oh, great. That was really great. That's useful. I know I'm gonna go look at my top post now and figure out. And you're right. The reality is we're all not getting thousands, maybe not even hundreds, but just picking out.
And that's okay. Like I think that like part of social media is we have to like realign our expectations with reality. Like in the end, like social media marketing works. Like one of our clients literally just got $1,000 sale from Instagram. Like it works, but it takes time to figure things out and to work on things. And so that's where, even if you can start experimenting with $5 here and there, you're going to help yourself by knowing, okay, this audience reacted to this content, this audience did not react to this content. And so you can start getting a little bit more data on what your people are looking for.
Great. I love it. That was very helpful. It really was.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
All right. As we wrap up, you have an offer for our audience. What is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we, on our website, if you go to stratoscreativemarketing.com/resources, we have 101 social media prompts. So when we think about those 3 buckets, you have to, if you're going to use ads, especially for lead generation, you have to have something going out organically. And what I mean by that is something that's just going out up on the feed. If you are like, I'm so tired of coming up with ideas, please, I don't ever want to do this again, check out this resource. It's 101 prompts. It's basically a question that you answer, and it becomes a post. It'll make it so much easier for you as you create those like proof of life posts.
Awesome. I love it. So everybody out there, you got it. 101 creative posts or ideas.
Social,
right?
It's just, social media prompts. Mm-hmm.
Social media prompts, sorry. But yeah, that's great. So we'll put a link in our show notes and everything, and make sure people know how to get to that and contact you. So thanks again, Julia Block-Pearson.
You're welcome. So many names.
Yeah. Thank you so much. This is really helpful. And I'm so glad to be a partner with you. And for my audience, if you want to revolutionize your marketing, as Julia said, you need to have great content like this video podcast that we're filming right now with Julia. It's, there's so much to do out there with your marketing. And if you're like, I don't know if I should be doing video or podcasting or whatever, don't worry. We can help you out. All you have to do is schedule a session with us, and we'll strategize with you. We bring in our great partners like Julia, and there's always an answer. You just need to look for the right one. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Julia.